lot of short weeks here. You have 4 teams playing on a short week. 3 of which on Thanksgiving, 1 of which on Black Friday. Let's start off with Lions Packers. By the way, Mark's already said it twice, but I'll say it a third time. Mark is 34-13 in picking spreads and underovers for the year. I'm 23-24, still 1 out. I went 2-2 last week. I'm pissed about it. And Zach, even though you're not going to have a face on the board here, we'd love to hear your picks as we go through as well.
Absolutely.
All right, Mark. We got Lions minus touchdown and 0.5. I'm surprised about the over on this one, frankly. 47.5 feels a little high. I think they're banking on Green Bay's defense just sucking, if that's the case. I like the Lions to cover here. I mean, I think it's Thanksgiving. This is probably the biggest, Thanksgiving game that the Lions have had in a long time. I mean, Bills last year, but I don't think people's expectations were fully turned around at that point in the season yet. Yeah, I like the Lions to win here. I like the Lions to cover.
I agree. I don't think the Packers are a good team really whatsoever. I think that they kind of got lucky with one last week against the Chargers. And I think the Lions will treat this week of practice as if they did lose last week because they deserved to lose. And I think the coaches will make them feel that and understand, like, you're this close to losing to one of the worst teams in the league. Like, we need to get our shit together. We need to fix some stuff, and we need to be even better against the Packers come Thanksgiving. So I think they come out with a different edge than we saw last week, and I think they get it done.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Jordan Love does not have that kind of mobility that they seem to be struggling with on defense. Not to say that they can't score some points, but that really seems to be the Lions' Achilles heel. All right, taking a look at the next Thanksgiving game, Commanders at Dallas. Dallas is favored by 11 points. I think I'm going to add that to my best bets with all that shit talk. I think that they'll cover this.
You are such a coward, dude.
I hate them. I'm not trying to say that they can't win football games. I just hate them. I have to be a little bit more, cautious about like how open I am about that, by the way, now that I live in Texas. Like, even though I'm in Austin, like, you never know when a Dallas freaking loser.
What are you,
Dallas
scared of
fans-
them?
I mean, they might get upset. Might try to fight me.
Whatever, dude. All right. I'm taking the Cowboys as well. Not my best bets. They're going to take care of business. The Commanders are a lost team. They don't have anything to play for. They don't even know who their coach is. The Cowboys are hungry. They've been beating up on bad teams. It's a pretty easy pick.
More of the same, for sure.
Yeah, give me the boys.
Zach likes the boys as well. All right, we got San Fran at the Seahawks for your Thursday night game, and the Seahawks are favored, or not favored. Sorry, they are getting 6.5 points. Yeah, I assume I haven't heard any word on Geno yet. Is Drew Lock going to be starting?
Pete Carroll said that he expects Geno to start,
Okay.
but it's not, a guarantee.
Yeah, for whatever reason, San Fran always struggles with this team. I don't know why. So I'll take the Seahawks to cover here on Thanksgiving night.
I will as well. In Seattle, 12th man. Brock Purdy against a tough defense. Secondary, that kind of baits and traps you into making some throws he probably shouldn't. I expect a couple turnovers out of Brock Purdy, and I think the Seahawks cover.
Zach?
Yeah, I think the Niners win, but the Hawks cover for sure. It'll be a closer game.
That's what we want, right? We're digesting all that turkey in our stomachs. We want a good football game to, probably slowly fall into.
This will be a
nap
grudge
too.
match.
I'm also rooting heavily for the Seahawks because I have them as a future to win the division. So big game for that, and also good for Lions if the Niners
in the playoff
lose
picture.
a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. All right, Black Friday game. I believe the first Black Friday game in NFL history. We have the Dolphins at the Jets. The Jets are getting 10 points. However, the under-over is 40. So that's interesting because that's essentially suggesting that Miami's going to blow the Jets out. Like, is that essentially what we're saying here?
That's how I see it going.
Yeah. I really don't know what to think of this game. I guess I'll take Miami to win. Win and cover, I guess. Not sure. Obviously not adding this one to my best bets.
Am I crazy to put the Jets in my best bets?
You might be a little bit, but honestly, their defense, I think, is enough to have faith in. Drew immediately typed yes. Yeah, literally as soon as that left your mouth, I saw yes in the chat.
Drag it to my best bets. Listen, I'm 34-13. I can do whatever the hell I want, and usually it happens. I'm putting them in my best bets. Here's why. Why. Is it crazy? Sure. But you won't say it's crazy when it actually happens. I've said many crazy things, and John sits there and snarls at me, and then it ends up happening, and then he's like, "Oh shit,
snarls."
Another perfect week. But here we go.
I'm not the person that has two different reminders inside of the ticker of my past mistakes haunting me. So
yes, that is true. But you're also not 34-13. I like to live in the now.
That's fair.
I'll tell you what I'm talking about in the now. Zach Wilson, ass out, not in the picture. You got a young, hungry quarterback in. Is Boyle any good? No, he's not. I know he's not. But the Jets defense is really, really good. And Tua might struggle against that pass rush. Might turn the ball over a little bit. The Jets have kind of like a new motivation without Zach Wilson playing. It's kind of new life. Black Friday home game. 10 points is a lot. I mean, I think they cover 10. Sue me.
Okay. Drew, do you want to get in on the? I mean, we might as well just get all of the PSP crew in the chat right now. He just said no. He's like, F off. All right. Saints at Falcons. Falcons are getting 1 point.
What? What a garbage game.
Yeah, I frankly I kind of want to hate here. Just on really the spread, the Saints, the Falcons. This is a trash tier game. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a Saints fan, dude. What is even John is like the fakest Saints fan.
No. That's not.
How do you not put that in your best bets? How do you not?
You're not. First of all, you're not gonna bully me into this again. Second of all,
you're not a fan of the team, then, dude.
Carr's no way. Hold on. Derek Carr isn't healthy.
You know who is?
Famous Jameis, who threw 2 interceptions last game.
And he throws almost as many touchdowns in his career as he throws picks, always.
Sure. I have no clue what to make of Arthur Smith's Falcons. They're a good team on paper that seems to make the weirdest offensive decisions. Yeah, I would say so.
Who's their quarterback?
That's a great question.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, I wanted to mention this, and I was going to wait till we started talking about this game. Justin Fields might be in a Falcons uniform next year. Chances?
Yeah, maybe. But don't change the fact that you're not putting the Saints in your best bets when you say you're a diehard Saints fan.
Dude, I have to get even, and I have to be careful about that.
So you don't believe in them?
Yeah, you're right. I have a lot of questions about the Saints, and as a fan, I've been saying that all season.
But they're playing a bad Falcons team in division, and they're a 1 point favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. There's too many question marks.
I'd hammer the Saints. I don't even care. If I had a best bet, I'd put them there. Same with the Finns. I think the Finns will get the under.
Is Heineke healthy?
I think they're going with Desmond.
I think he's hurt. Yeah, they're going with Ritter. I think Heineke's hurt.
Dude, John.
Already never committed.
If you don't have faith in your defense to stop Desmond Ritter, and you don't have faith in Jameis to throw a couple tutties, I mean, that's all it's going to take. Whatever, John. Ride with your Cowboys. That's your true fandom. That's your true fandom. Mission success. All right, let's ride it out. I want you to win more. I want you to be in the winning column. You're one game away from being in the winning column.
All right.
If we're both positive against the spread this year, John, when it's all said and done, this might be the best betting podcast ever listened to. You understand that? Our combined record might be literally better. You look at Pardon My Take, you look at any of these quote unquote experts that have a huge following, they don't win you money. You come over to Practice Squad Pod and you ride our asses, you do win money. That's all I know. So
if you bet $100 in every spread we picked, you would be up a lot of money right now.
A lot of money. I'm not a math guy. Maybe Drew can figure that out. But we'd be up. Yeah. Listen, and if you have a gambling problem, you need to get help. But if you like winning money, it's not a problem.
Dude, I love and I agree that
No MJ shit in here.
sports gambling has become a bit of a problem for the United States. Pretty much post COVID because we had freaking nothing better to do.
It was always
But
a problem, John. Now it's
it
just
was
a
a-
legal problem.
It's 100%. But I couldn't stop thinking about this meme of like, you guys know, like that like miner like almost at diamonds and it like shows him turning around. It's like what happens if you quit sports gambling?
Yeah, it's the truth, man. Imagine not betting with me. Imagine
Dude,
not riding my bets this year. Couldn't be me.
I lost that parlay by half a yard in the playoffs, like what, 2 years ago, John? I have not bet since. Have not hit
See,
a bet since.
Dude,
Zach, you need to start riding.
You were getting Pat McAfee baited for a minute, that's for sure. Zach was riding with Pat.
Hey,
This is
we have
the
a
meme I
better
was talking
we have
about.
a better record than McAfee's people. I bet as well.
100%. They have their own show. This is my favorite meme. It's so good.
If you want to win money, you come to the Practice Squad pod and ride with the boys.
Moneyline Mark.
Moneyline Mark, making money Mark, whatever you want to call me, Triple M, M, whatever you want to call me.
Eminem.
I need John to get positive though. John, you need to get positive. That's why I'm telling you this.
Dude, I was so close last week.
You're right there. Relax.
I
You
know,
got plenty of
I
time
know,
left this
I
week.
know.
And this week, there's plenty of games left that I kind of like, and also this whole season is still ahead of you. Okay,
Yeah.
Stay focused. You're one game back. We're gonna be positive.
Motivator Mark.
Steelers at Bengals. Eminem.
Men of many talents.
Yeah. Steelers at Bengals to reel this all back in. This feels like a trap game. Like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Steelers are gonna win this game because Joe Burrow's not playing," and yet I feel like the Steelers just feel so fraudulent this season. It is very hard for me to get behind this. I guess I like them to win. That under over too is brutal. I mean, what's everybody's thoughts here?
I mean, I don't want to touch this game just because there's so many questions around it. But like my gut tells me that the Steelers win and the over hits. But like because I think these teams actually play better offensively than anyone's expecting in this week.
Right.
I just I can't put that in my best bets because it's just so ass. But that's my gut tells me that pretty strongly that's what's gonna happen.
We got Jags at Texans. Huge game. The implications of this one are massive. I like the fact that it's at Houston. Man, Houston's, home underdog too against the Jags team that I think has had some questions. Jags do have a good defense though, and that Jags team has been consistent defensively. I like Houston here though. I like Houston to win. I like Houston to cover, obviously.
I agree.
Yeah, that's where we all disagree here, boys. I like the Jags. I like a -1.5. I like it in my best bets. Revenge game, dude. Revenge game. They got whopped in Jacksonville by the Texans earlier this year. I mean, CJ Stroud has been hot, but I just feel like this is Vegas baiting the whole world to think that the Texans are going to win this game because of how they've been playing, and they beat the Bengals, and they just had a good win against the Cardinals, blah 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 blah. I just think that Trevor Lawrence and the Jags have heard enough of that shit, and I feel like they're not getting talked about enough because they haven't really been in the main stage. Everybody kind of thought the Jags would be what they are this year, so they're not getting talked about. I think the Jags take care of business.
And again, the implications of this game are massive.
Huge.
For the division, playoff picture, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm not adding Houston in my best bets. I don't feel that confident about it. I think you're right that 1-1 against one another feels right. But man, weird. Again, another weird reality that we're living in where, the Jags and the Texans are like legitimate AFC
teams.
division rivals.
Drew has a good point. The world always balances out, and there's just way too much stuff going in the Texans' favor right now for them to win this game.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that argument.
The Cinderella story always ends, and I think that at least gets suspended, and this is the moment where it's kind of like, oh, it stalls out. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe they are, a little bit less of a team than we thought they were.
Yeah, they've been playing on fire the past few weeks. That doesn't last, right? All right, we got a shitter of a game. Tampa at the Colts. Colts are favored by 2.5 points, which is actually kind of surprising, probably because they've had 2 weeks to prepare. I'm not touching this one from a best bets perspective, but I do kind of like Tampa to cover here at the very least.
I like Tampa to cover a lot. I consider it in my best bets, but I'm not going to do it. I like Baker, dude.
I do too, and I know they've kind of been in a slump, but this just feels like a good get back game. So
I feel like this is just such a good rowdy like Baker versus Minshew game. Like it's just kind of both similar style players, underdogs, kind of like that cowboy like let it loose kind of quarterback. It should be fun one to watch at least. I think you said it's a shitter game. I kind of think it could be a fun one to watch. I think Baker and the Bucks get it done, but definitely not confident enough to put that in my best bets.
Yeah, I mean, shitter game in the sense that they're not very good teams. Still could be an entertaining game, 100%. Speaking of not very good
This
teams,
is a shitter game.
Look at this over, dude. Where's that? I need a tank here. I should.
Dude, can we get a tank the size of like freaking a small country?
Can we get a tank?
Dude, you got the Patriots at Giants, you got the Panthers at Titans, you got the Rams at Cardinals. Like, I don't even can we just scratch those 3 games off of this? Like, I don't even think they're worth. I don't even think they're worth talking about, dude.
I mean, ooh, I like. Yeah, there we go.
Just can we drag that across just laterally across that entire bar? Because I can't stand. I cannot stand those 3. Those 3 games are just so dog water.
Those are the games you got to bet on.
Yeah,
there we go. How does that feel? But is that kind of what you were banking on? Does that feel good? Yeah, I like it. I mean, we can double up. Just get their own respective tanks too.
What do you have for the? Are you putting any of those games in your best bets, John? I mean, are you confident about any of those?
The Giants getting 3.5.
Yeah.
Give me Tony D and the G-Men.
Okay, I like that.
Tony D.
Honestly, there's a part of me that's spiteful enough that I kind of want to hit the under on that one, but I'm not going to do it. Like, that's really putting yourself up against.
Yeah, Zach said Tony. It is Tommy, but I would assume it's Tony too, just because of Tony Soprano in the jersey.
Right.
And
I called him Danny earlier. Tony.
I mean, you're not far off. Like, they're all Italian. Like, dude, they're all Italian.
Tony,
at least you
Tommy,
hit the accent,
Danny.
Dude, I find it hard to ride with the Italian. Being an Italian myself, I'm gonna go with the Paisan. I think they take care of business against the Patriots. Not enough to be in my best bets. I think that the Titans take care of the Panthers, and then I think the Rams take care of the Cardinals. None of those are in my best bets.
I was going to say, I think all of those are correct. There's a debate to be had on the spreads, but I don't know, man. I feel like the Titans only being a 3.5 point favorite against the Panthers feels weird, but I'm not going to think about it any more than I am right now, because that probably just means that the Panthers are going to at least cover or some shit like that. So, all right. Browns with a dead quarterback. We don't know who's going to play at Denver. Denver is a 2.5 point favorite. Despite how well Denver has been playing the past couple of weeks, that spread is interesting to me. Also have to note the over on this one, 35.5 points. It sounds like this is going to be another defensive battle, boys. How are we feeling about it?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I think are they going to start Joe Flacco? Like these are the questions that we need to know the answers to.
Right.
So I can't put in my best bets just because of so many unanswered questions. But if it is Flacco, I feel pretty good about the Browns going in there and ending this win streak. I think Russell Wilson is going to be having nightmares about Myles Garrett for a very long time after this game.
Yeah, I like Browns to win. And I'm not going to do anything best bets related with this one, though. It feels wacky. I don't like that we're at this point of the season and there's so many dead quarterbacks that we can't figure out what teams what any given week, because there was a record for most starting quarterbacks and most rookie starting quarterbacks 3 weeks ago, and now we have Burrow hurt, Geno hurt, all these other questions. It's wild. KC at Raiders. Raiders are getting 9.5 points. Over is 44. I believe Aiden O'Connell is still getting a start there. He's been playing pretty well for a rookie quarterback.
He had
I
a
think,
dime to Devontae Adams this
yeah,
week.
and I think Casey's defense is going to be way too much for them to handle. But I think it's going to be a relatively low scoring game. So not going to touch this one, but I do like KC to win. I just don't know about cover.
I'm gonna put Kansas City in my best bets to cover. They're pissed off. They just lost. It's fresh. This is an in-division road game, which Mahomes has lost, I think, one in his career. And he usually takes care of business in terms of the spread. I think the Raiders had a couple good games, couple competitive games behind this, Antonio Pierce is their head coach, their interim head coach. But I think that fun ends when they play a team like this that's pissed off, and Mahomes has just got to be him and Kelsey in this team. I think they're just infuriated, man. I think this is a get-back game. I think this is just like where you're going to get our very best.
Yeah,
So.
I'm inclined to agree there. I think this is when they're definitely going to win. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know about that point differential. All right, Bills at Eagles. And again, if you are a Lions fan, you're hoping this is the 2021 Bills team, baby. Like that's what they need to come out as. With that being said, like I really don't know if the Bills got the juice to pull it off in Philly. I just have to be honest.
I don't either.
I'm taking the Eagles all day.
Zach's taking the Eagles. I'm taking
the Eagles
all
day. I'm taking the Eagles all day. I would even consider the Eagles as a best bet. I mean, dude, who are we kidding? Like the Bills, they stink.
Yeah, they're not good. I am taking the over on this one, though. I think there will be a sufficient number of points scored. So that's where I'm at. Buffalo's offense put together.
The only reason I'm just so everyone's clear, the only reason I'm not putting the Eagles on my best bet is because I feel like they'll be a little bit hungover off this win from the Kansas City game. So
that's fair.
And right, I can't do it because I want the Bills to win so bad. So then I'll be like contradicting myself.
Also, Sunday Night Football. Ravens at Chargers. Chargers are 4.5-point dogs at home, and yet something still makes me want to take the Ravens here. But just because of how bad the Chargers have been playing, I mean, the Chargers lose this one. Is Staley their coach?
I think he's gone. I think he might be gone even before this game is played. Like this episode might air, and breaking news: Staley fired. So
his ass has to be crispy at this point,
dude. Like he's
been cooking for a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's a long time coming, man. It really is. I'm gonna take the Chargers to cover, but I'm not putting my best bets. I still don't trust the Ravens. I'll be honest. I still do not fully trust the Ravens.
I'm just curious. What do you need for the Ravens? Like you think? Yes, the Ravens are like a top 5 team in the NFL.
I'm not saying they're not a top 5 team in the NFL. I'm just saying I don't fully trust them, like against like I'd still consider the Chargers like a relatively like talented roster. Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. They're not like this isn't a team that you just go in there and win. Like it's not like it's an easy game.
Yeah, I'm more scared of this team without Brandon Staley. I said there's that curse, right, or reverse curse where you fire your head coach mid-season. You come out that next game flying out the gate.
I just don't fully trust Lamar Jackson. That's the simple and always has been that way. I just do not fully trust him as a quarterback. He does some amazing things. It's a consistency problem for me. And you just took away his best weapon. Mark Andrews is done for the year. He was kind of like his security blanket at times. I mean, yeah, I just think the Chargers cover the 4.5.
Zach, who you got?
I'm taking the Ravens. I don't know about the Chargers. You'd think a team with as many weapons and as many names as they have would be better than they are, but losing a squeaker to the Packers like that and then getting down to the wire with the Lions defense isn't that great, but I think that there's still a way for Lamar to cut them up on offense. So give me the Ravens.
And Drew's chiming into the chat too. I mean, Ravens defense is very, very good. So it's the first time the Chargers have had to go up against an elite defense in a minute. All right, and then finally Monday Night Football, we got Bears at Minnesota. I don't know how I feel about this one after really how both these teams have been playing. I'm not really sure what to think of it. Um, yeah, give me Minnesota covering at home here. I think that makes sense.
I actually think the Bears cover. I think the Bears cover just because Justin Fields uses his feet. Good quarterback, interesting quarterback matchup. I mean, two guys that play kind of similar styles. Like they just extend plays. They're not afraid to run the ball. They're more athletic than you think they are. You know, I don't know. It's going to be a fun one, I think.
Zach?
I think the Vikes win and I think they cover. I
Yeah,
think the Pasternaut returns to form for sure.
this is a good slate of games overall. I mean, you got a lot of divisional matchups with a good chunk of weight on them. You got some, pretty good outside of the division matchups. I like this. I mean, we got what? Division, 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 not, not division, not division. I mean, it's a pretty good slate. I like this.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
good
they'll,
week. There's
they'll-
also some really bad games.
Yeah, I think they'll be entertaining bad games, though. I'll take it.
It's a weird spot right now because you'd figure that given a lot of teams' records, you'd know who the contenders are and the pretenders are. But there's a lot of question marks around a lot of teams, whether it's
In a weird season.
injury, personnel, or like coaches, even where it's like anything can really happen.
I mean, the AFC right now, especially, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
John, can you pull those picks up again? I just want to recap my picks, your picks,
Yep.
so we can run through it just so we're all on the same page.
Is this
just
the
in
right?
case.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark,
So
your best bets are.
my best bets are the Jets plus 10. Okay, they're hosting the Dolphins. I think they take care of business without Zach Wilson. I have the Jags minus 1.5 going into Houston. I think the CJ Stroud Houston Texans fun ends. I think their luck runs out. And then I have the Chiefs minus 9.5 in Vegas. Revenge game, pissed off. Mahomes does not lose division games on the road, and he is definitely not happy with what happened in this Eagles game on Monday night. So I think they get their revenge.
Cool. I got Dallas covering minus 11 because they beat up on bad teams and the Commanders are bad. I got Saints covering -1 because big divisional matchup and Mark bullied me into it. And then I got the over for the Bills-Eagles matchup because I think points are going to be scored that game. Simply put, I think the Bills offense is going to get things humming a little bit better than they've been doing the past few weeks. And I think the Eagles are just going to play how the Eagles have been playing. And that's going to equal more than 47.5 points. So that is Mark and I's best bets. Mark, thank you for the reminder.
Of course, you heard it here first. If I'm telling you, you guys are idiots if you don't ride with us. That's all I'm saying. At this point, the math tells tells the story. Statistics don't lie.